everybody. I am pleased to be here with you. As Kasha mentioned, I also studied at KCJS, but unlike Baden and Kasha, I was late to the Japanese game. I only studied Latin until my sophomore year of college, when I changed from being a biology major to an Asian Middle Eastern Studies major. So that was quite the jump. At which point I started learning Japanese and struggled. I could do biology, chemistry, calculus. I got a C 3 semesters in a row in Japanese. I didn't know how I could quite manage that because I wasn't used to not being good at something. But to Baden's point, through making mistakes, I learned a lot. I was determined that I wanted to meet people and make friends. I studied abroad and lived with a family, just one family, who I am still in contact with now, 20 some years later. Um, and they've kind of become my Japanese family. But fortunately, Japanese has really brought me to where I am today without me. I don't want to say without me trying because it's not that I have tried, but I actually haven't applied for any of the roles that I've held. I have ended up kind of lucking into them, as Baden might say, or building off the relationships and the networking that Kasha mentioned being very important. I also have a motto that I don't say it's not my job. My very first job was in Japan working for an engineering company, and I did anything and everything, from purchasing to sales to checking CAD drawings. And I just kind of viewed it as a way to learn more about the company and the business. And I think having that kind of can do or will do attitude is really helpful. And a lot of times more what a company needs necessarily than what your major was or what you scored on the Japanese language exam. All of these things obviously are hard skills that you can show to a prospective employer. But it's more having that passion for learning, the curiosity that Baden mentioned, and just being open and willing to trying new things. So I graduated from college and took my first job in Japan with an engineering company where I was the only non-Japanese person working, and I thought that that would be good for me because it would force me to have to use my Japanese and improve my Japanese. So I worked with that company for about 9 years, during which time I was in a number of different roles, from purchasing to sales to project management, and then I led a technology transfer team and came to the US. At the time, I should have gone back to Japan. I decided to stay in the US for family reasons and went into one of the automotive companies where I got to work on the technology transfer of four-wheel drive technology, localization, a big thing that Yamagishi-san mentioned, a reason that companies need support in the US. But really, during that role, I spent more time interpreting and translating than I did anything else, because a big part of being successful as a team is being able to communicate. And so if you have the ability to communicate in Japanese with your Japanese colleagues and in English with your, English speaking colleagues, you have the opportunity to be a bridge or to kind of help with that overall team building. That's very important. And so did that for a while. Then a couple banks came calling, and I went into commercial and investment banking for 17 years, working specifically with Japanese corporates as my clients. I hope this is illustrating to you Kasha's point and Yamagishi-san's point, that there are a number of different industries that you can make use of Japanese in. I did not anticipate that banking would be one of them, nor did I think it was something I would enjoy, but I really did, because it gave me the opportunity to interact with so many different Japanese companies. And I think that even if you didn't have perfect Japanese fluency, just understanding and having a respect for the culture is a great way that you can help to bridge the gap and help with, banking, for example. It's different how we do some things in the US than what Japanese companies and, the Japanese treasurer or CFO might be used to. So being able to help get people up to speed with business practices in the US is a great skill and something that is necessary for a lot of companies that are investing here in the US. And then from there, I joined Toyota Tsusho, who I had known for a long time as my client. And now at Toyota Tsusho, I am pleased to get to work with a broad number of different businesses, given our diversified nature, but also have the opportunity to continue to kind of help be that bridge, be it with my own internal colleagues at Toyota Tsusho globally. Or whether it's with the companies that we work with, both other Japanese companies as well as, American and otherwise. So I really appreciate that Japanese has kind of brought me to where I am now and look forward. I really appreciate all the excitement that you guys have, the number of people, and really hope that you stick with it and find your passion and your fit using your Japanese.